There actually isn't any SPCA umbrella. The American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, which people usually refer to as the ASPCA, is a private humane organization in New York City. It has no relationship to us. We started in 1999, finished up in 2000, and we made the decision in the course of that strategic planning to become no-kill. We had a strategic planning committee, which was a committee of the board. They came up with a plan, they recommended it to the board, and the board adopted it. Going no-kill was a very significant change for this organization. We actually began in 1891 and had, up until that strategic plan, operated like a great many, probably most, of the larger humane organizations in this country. We euthanized a lot of animals, but we made the decision with that strategic plan to completely change our way of operating and become no-kill. And we have remained that till now, and I think it has proved to be an exceedingly successful model for us. Richmond SPCA is a completely private nonprofit. That means that we don't get any government funding whatsoever, and we are not in any way a government agency. We have an endowment. So the money that we take from our endowment annually provides about 1/4 of the operating revenue that we need to keep our operations going. We have an annual budget of about $5 million. So the other 3/4 we have to raise every single year. We raise it from annual gifts from supporters. We raise it from foundation grants. We have a number of events that raise a lot of money for our operations. And we raise a modest amount from corporate giving, but the vast majority of the charitable gifts that allow us to operate come from individuals. We take in about 4,000 homeless animals each year. More than half of them, when they come to us, are sick or injured and in need of significant amounts of veterinary medical care. Certainly the number that we intake goes up during the warm months of the year and is at its lowest in the winter months, January and February. The reason it goes up in the summertime is because cats are very seasonal in their breeding. So litters of kittens are born when the weather is warm outside, and consequently we take in many more cats and kittens in the summer months than we do in the wintertime, when they breed very little, if at all. When those pets arrive, they get a veterinary medical exam by our veterinarian, Dr. Ivy. And if the pet has a medical condition that will need treatment, the treatment plan is then developed and the treatment is begun. And frequently, if they have a pretty significant veterinary medical condition, they will be put into one of our rehab rooms, or rooms where we put animals that have contagious diseases or some kind of other very significant medical condition requiring treatment.
Well, I've been here 11 years now, so I was actually hired for an intensive spay-neuter initiative. So by continuing to spay and neuter as many as we do through those 11 years, we've greatly decreased the homeless pet population in the Richmond area. We also have a full-service clinic that allows the clients of low-income people in our area to use full-service care at our veterinary hospital here.
We take in a lot of animals that have veterinary medical issues and that have behavior issues. That's, in fact, more than half of the animals that we take in. We give them a thorough check before we accept them into our care, because we have to be sure that we actually have the resources to take care of that pet, because once the pet is in our care, it it is, we will do everything in our power to save that pet's life.
They get an initial exam, and then they get all their vaccinations and worming. We then spay and neuter them. We do testing with all full state-of-the-art lab work for any disease process we may need to identify. And then we also have them temp tested so we know their behavior, and that way we can adopt them out with full disclosure.
We send a lot of animals into foster care. It's, I guess, a couple of different categories. We get a lot of kittens in the summer months that are underage and require bottle feeding if they don't have a nursing mother, or they may have a nursing mother. The nursing moms and kittens, or kittens that are bottle babies, go out into foster care so that they can be cared for by a foster care volunteer until they are old enough to come back to the shelter, be spayed or neutered, and be put up for adoption. We also send a lot of pets that have veterinary medical conditions that will require some period of rehabilitation and treatment out to foster care, because generally they will recuperate better if they are in a home setting. The volunteer will give them whatever medications they need, bring them in here to have exams and updates, but they'll recuperate better if they're in a home setting. And then lastly, we have a wonderful group of foster care volunteers that are focused on behavior. And if a pet has behavior issues, we will send them frequently out with one of those foster care volunteers to work on that behavior issue and improve it so that the chances are better that that animal will have a successful adoption into a new home.
This is Brad. I'm going to foster his mom and his 2 other siblings this Thursday. They're going to stay with me until they're about 2 pounds and ready to come back and be spayed and neutered and get on the adoption floor. Most of us wanted to help out the Richmond SPCA and just learned better how to help them, and also just have fun with kids at home. I mean, I've learned a lot about cat behavior and dog behavior by bringing them home, and my kids are now very pet savvy. They know all about how to handle kittens and what to do and not to do, so it's been really a good learning experience.
We do our best through a program called Meet Your Match. We have identified each pet's personality and characteristics, and we hope that they don't have to, but we encourage doctors to take a little survey so that we know what their needs and desires and limitations are about a pet. So we hope to direct them to a pet that will suit them. But we think it's really important that instead of turning people away, we make new good pet guardians to the extent we possibly can.
Well, adoption is the only way to go, because unless we quit purchasing or from breeders or pet stores, that homeless population won't continue to decline. But I think they need to realize that any characteristic you're looking for, even if it's not a specific breed, you can find it in your shelters.